everyone, and welcome back to Cuban Slang channel. In today's video I want to show you the current situation in Cuba under the pandemic, and you're gonna learn some Cuban slang words related to transportation, money, sanitation, and other stuff. Alright, before we get started, I would like to remind you 3 simple things. Thing number 1, if you start enjoying the content, give me a thumbs up. Thing number 2, subscribe to this channel. And thing number 3, don't forget to turn on the notifications so you won't miss out on my later videos. Alright, let's do it. So today I have to travel to another town. I already have my umbrella, mi sombrilla, my sunglasses. And in Cuban slang, we don't say gafas de sol, we say gafas. Solo gafas. I'm right now at Varadero Beach, and well, I'm gonna talk to you about the options of transportation I have to travel from my town. Normally, when I'm gonna travel to Varadero Beach, for example, I need to take a bus, local bus, which is called in Cuban slang guagua or local. Because it's a local bus, it should be in Spanish guagua local, but we call it guagua or local. So every single bus for Cuban people is guagua, and this kind of local bus is local for us too. I'm sorry I cannot show you around because there's too much sun and I need my umbrella. I don't want to be burnt. This kind of streets are like secondary streets and they are empty. So we take this local bus from my town to Santa Marta town, and then it continues to Varadero Beach, and then it returns from Varadero Beach to my town. That's why we call it local bus. Actually, the local bus is the cheapest transportation. That's why we always try to take a local bus, but it is not running these days because of the pandemic. As you know, the risk of being contagious is higher when you are in a closed space, so it's not running, and it's totally comprehensible. So the second option that we have when we're gonna travel from my town to Santa Marta town is a motorcycle. I personally don't like motorcycles. Riding motorcycles is like something really exciting, and I don't like exciting things. It costs like 25 Cuban pesos to 75 Cuban pesos. For example, if you're gonna travel from my town and you're gonna ride a motorcycle, it costs 25 Cuban pesos from my town to Santa Marta town. But then if you want to go from Santa Marta town to Varadero Beach, it costs 50 to 75 Cuban pesos. And the third option, just actually the best one for me, is to take a carriage, which costs 10 pesos per person, and 8 people can travel in a carriage. Now, if I want to travel from Santa Marta town to Varadero Beach, the most common transportation mean is a truck. Yes, a truck. I'm gonna show you actually what kind of trucks we have in Cuba to travel from a place to other, and it also costs 10 pesos per person. Okay, we also have state-owned taxis and particular taxis, which can vary their prices depending on the place and the distance you're gonna travel. We also have busy taxis. This is something that I think you're gonna find only in Cuba. And busy taxis cost 15 Cuban pesos per person, and they can transport only 2 people. Okay, most of the recreational places are closed. You can come in, but you can't enjoy any activities which they can offer you because they are not available because of the pandemic. But stores are open, yeah, other places too. The thing is that it cannot be a lot of people in the same place for a long time, and that's exactly what the government is trying to not allow, and it is helping a lot. Everybody is conscious of the usage of masks, especially when they're gonna go out, when they're on the streets, and when you're gonna come in a bank, a store, they have this kind of chlorine water or soapy water to sanitize your hands. And even a lot of people I've seen that they sanitize their banknotes and coins too. Can you imagine? Their cars, like we sanitize everything. And another prevention measure that I've seen a lot of places are taking right now is when you're gonna come in, for example, this is a commercial center, and when you're gonna come in, they take your temperature, they take your name, the place where you live, your ID number, and this is a very useful measure because I think they can control the people coming and going, and they can also control potential contagious people. By the way, we don't call this piece of clothes mascarilla, we call it nasobuco. Nasobuco. It's a really awful word. The first time that I heard this word was back in February 2020 when all this situation started, and I said, what? What an awful word. Oh my god. Usamos el nasobuco correctamente. Also, when we're gonna say desinfectate, sometimes some people say échate cloro, échate alcohol. Of course, alcohol and chlorine water are this kind of substances that we use to sanitize our hands. Okay, we're coming back home. This is 54th Street at Varadero Beach. So I'm coming back home and I'm gonna try to catch a track. Let's see, one of those that are 4. I think that one is ready to go out.